All right, thanks, guys. The Celtics take on the Pistons, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Detroit. The Celtics open the betting as the 3.5-point favorite, and the total at 206.5. And since those markets opened this one up, no real significant movement on the spread, although we did see some slight line movement on the total. Right now, Boston's still laying 3.5, but the total moved upward just half a point to an even 207. Now, currently, the Celtics are 155 for some money line cash. That's actually a 20-cent fade of Boston in the early going here. And at the moment, 62% are on Boston, 71% shaded toward the over. Now, if you like Boston to get the job done in this spot here, you might as well take them now, as this 3.5 number will probably be the best one you can get by tip-off. Significant fade of their opponents when it comes to the consensus. And if you like the Pistons to get the job done, you might as well hold off and see if you can catch that extra half a point, since they're only taking 38% of the consensus there. Now, if you like the Pistons for an outright upset at home, a moneyline play on Detroit will pay you $1.40. And if you like an underplay in this one, not only is that line increasing, you're at a pretty good price point at -105 on the underplay. All that aside, though, this Detroit squad has failed to cover in 3 out of their 4 games for the season. They're allowing 113 points a game and failed to cover in their last 5 meetings with the Celtics. Meanwhile, on the other side, 5-0 straight up in their last 5 with the Pistons. Boston's also 3-2 against the spread for the season, while also winning 7 out of their last 10 head-to-head matchups with the Pistons. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Boston's 5 games for the season stayed under the total, 2-1 to the under in their 3 games away from home. Meanwhile, on the Detroit side, 2 out of their 3 home games for the season stayed under the line themselves. So with all that said and done, I got to lean toward the road faves in this one. Give me Boston after buying the half a point and the under, 206.5 in this one. Next game, Jazz Pelicans, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in New Orleans. The Jazz open the betting as the 1-point favorite. Let me just take a look here at that last game real quick. Yeah, Boston -4 after buying the half a point. That's the play. All right, next game, Jazz Pelicans, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in New Orleans. The Jazz open the betting as the 1-point underdog and the total at 226 even. And since those markets opened this one up, we've actually seen significant movement toward Utah as this line flipped. The Jazz are now the 1-point favorite after that line flip. Total moved downward to 224 and a hook. Currently, the Jazz are $1.20. That's a 20-cent move toward Utah in the early wagering. And at the moment, 66% are leaning Utah, 61% shaded toward the under. So if you like the Jazz to get the job done in this one, you might as well act now. I'd hate to see you lose that half a point by the closing line. And if you like New Orleans, pretty good spot for Pels backers, as you could catch another half a point at home. Now, if you like New Orleans straight up, that's going to pay you $1.03. And if you like the overplay in this one, it's -107. All that aside, though, this Pelicans offense is averaging 128 points of scoring per contest and finds themselves atop the league with a 4-0 straight-up record. And out of those 4 ball games, New Orleans is 3-1 against the spread, successfully covering the number in 2 out of their 3 home games. They are taking on a Utah squad who dropped 2 out of their last 3. The Jazz averaged just 107 points a game and have dropped 5 out of their last 7 straight up, dating back to last season. Now, total-wise, 3 out of New Orleans' 4 games for the season got over the total, 2-1 to the over at the Smoothie King Center. And in addition to scoring a boatload of points to start the year, this New Orleans team has given up a ton of points too. They're allowing 118 points of scoring per contest on their home court. So with all that said and done, I like the home dog in this one. Give me the Pelicans +1 and the over 226 in this one. And with all that said and done, I just want to quickly take the time to welcome you to the show. I got some lines and personal leans out for Saturday's slate of NBA ball games. But before we get into all of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 60% for my last 25 underdog plays on that website, you're costing yourself valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just quickly hit that pause button right now and open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take a few seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching this program right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And with all that said and done, let's go ahead and jump right back into some more lines of personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got, oh no, Hornets, Sixers, 7:30 South Philly. That game is currently off the board. Lines will be posted at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. At least that's what I'm being told. Next game, Pacers, Cavaliers. 7:30 tip-off in Cleveland. And similar to the Philly game, this contest is currently off the board. Look for those lines to be posted around 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next game, Bulls, Hawks, 7:30 Atlanta. We have lines for that one. The Hawks open the betting as the 4-point favorite and the total at 231.5. And since those markets opened this one up, bunch of movement toward Atlanta and the under. Right now the Hawks are minus 5.5 against the spread with the total moving downward to an even 230. Now currently the Hawks are the $2.10 favorite on the money line, 20-cent move toward Atlanta. And at the moment 79% are leaning toward Atlanta, 85% shaded toward the under. So if you like the Hawks in this matchup here, you already lost your best value at that opening number. You may want to lock it in now as the Hawks are continuing to take most of the action. And if you're leaning toward the Bulls to get the job done on the road, catching a couple of points, you should be able to at least catch another half a point by tip-off if these betting trends continue. Now, Chicago's plus $1.85 for an outright victory on the money line as well. And if you like the over in this one, it's only going to cost you $1.03. All that aside, though, this Bulls team has been pretty wretched in the early going here. Just 1-4 straight up, 2-3 against the spread. They're 0-5 ATS in their last 5 on the road, dating back to last year. They've also failed to cover in 5 out of their last 7 in Atlanta. The Hawks, on the other side, they're scoring 117 points a game, 2-0 against the spread in their last couple of contests. The Hawks have been victorious in 5 out of their last 7 straight up in the State Farm Arena, taking on the Bulls. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Atlanta's 4 games for the season got over the total. Meanwhile, on the other side, Chicago's gone 2-1 to the over in their 3 road games themselves. So with all that said and done, I can't fade the Hawks in this spot here. Give me Atlanta minus 5 after buying the half a point and the over, 230 in this one. Next game, that is going to be Suns-Grizzlies, 8 o'clock tip-off in Memphis. That game is currently off the board. Look for those lines to be posted by 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next game, Trailblazers, Heat, 8 o'clock Miami. The Heat opened this one up as the 1-point favorite and the total at 222. And since the markets opened this one up, Miami's taken most of the action along with the under. Right now, Miami's minus 1.5 with the total sliding downward to an even 220. Now, currently, the Heat's $1.25 on the money line, 10-cent fade of Miami in the early betting. And at the moment, 58% of the consensus is back on Portland, 79% shaded toward the over. So if you like Portland in this matchup here, you might as well act now. Should lose half a point by the closing bell if these betting trends continue. And if you like the over in this one, 220 should be your best number there. No need to wait around to see if it'll drop another point. The over is going to cost you $1.03 in this spot here. And when it comes to the sides, Portland's plus $1.10 for an outright upset. And speaking of Portland, they're 3-1 straight up on the season, winners in 3 out of their 4 games against the spread as well. This Portland offense is scoring 125 points a game and is a perfect 5-0 ATS in their last 5 meetings with the Heat. We are looking at a Miami squad who's failed to cover in 2 out of their last 4, while also scoring just 109 points per game. And in addition to losing their last 5 meetings with Portland, Miami's gone just 2-7 ATS in their last 9 at the American Airlines Arena. Now, total-wise, Portland's gone 4-0 to the over thus far for the season, 1-0 to the over in their lone game away from home. So with all that said and done, I got to lean toward the visitors in this spot here. Give me the Blazers +2 after, is that right? The Blazers +2? Yeah, the Blazers +2 after buying the hook in the over. 220 in this one. Next game, Magic Bucks, 8:30 Milwaukee. The Bucks were -8, now 9. Total was 222, down to 221 even. The Bucks are 455 for some money line cash, an 85-cent move toward Milwaukee. And at the moment, 59% of the spread consensus is leaning toward Milwaukee. Now, Milwaukee's 5-0 on the season, 4-1 ATS in those 5 games. They're taking on a Magic squad who's 0-5 straight up in their last 5 head-to-head matchups. The Bucks are 4-1 to the over thus far in the season, 3-0 to the over at home. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks -9 in the over. 221 in this one. All right, next and final game for the show, it is going to be Lakers Spurs, 8:30 San Antonio. The Spurs were 1.5, now 1. Total was 231, down to 230 and a hook. The Spurs are $1.15 for some money line cash. And at the moment, 61% are leaning Los Angeles, 58% toward the under. Now, the Lakers are just 2-3 against the spread for the season. 124 points a game they're giving up on defense. Meanwhile, on the San Antonio side, they're holding their opponents to just 112 points of scoring at home, which is par for the course for this wild and crazy beginning to the 2018 season. Now, scoring-wise, San Antonio's 4-0 to the over thus far for the year. Lakers are 5-0 themselves. So with all that said and done, I got to make the chalky play in this one. I'm going to lean toward the Spurs -1 and the over. 230 in this one. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 60% for my last 25 underdog plays on that website, you're costing yourself valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just quickly hit that pause button right now and open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take a few seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching this program right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. Most importantly, thank you for watching today's program. I hope you enjoyed all this great free information. And please don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.